Hello, everybody. Awesome to be back with you. Happy May. It's getting warmer. Summer vacation is coming up. I bet you guys are spending more time outside. It's a perfect time of year. Perfect time of year to eat tropical fruit. Did anyone get to eat any tropical fruit since you saw me last? Maybe you tried a pineapple like we tried in class, or a mango, or a kiwi, or a banana. Remember, we can find those things fresh, or we can find them frozen. Maybe there's some hiding in your freezer, or even in a can in your cupboard, and they're all so delicious. I hope you got to try some of those. Today, we are also going to be talking about something that's a fruit, but it's one of those funny ones that seems more like a vegetable, but it's actually a fruit because it has seeds inside. Exactly, you guys got this. So the fruit that seems like a vegetable that we're going to talk about today is a snap pea. And peas come in lots of different varieties. Sometimes you can eat them right with the shell, or sometimes you have to take the shell off because it's too stringy and they'll get stuck in your teeth. But they're delicious either way, and they're actually growing right now. Peas are in season in Maine, so that means that if you go to a farmer's market, or if you go directly to a farm, or if you have a garden, you might have peas growing in your garden right now, which is pretty cool. And peas belong to a family of fruits that is called the legumes. 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 And legumes have a shell, or a pod, you can think of it either way, and inside they have fleshy seeds. So that means their seeds are kind of soft, right? So when we bite into a pea, or if we just have peas already taken out of their pod and we have them in a bowl and we're just eating them with a spoon, they're pretty soft, right? So legumes have a shell or a pod, and then inside nice soft seeds. So other things in the legume family are beans, which we've tried, or chickpeas. What about peanuts? Does anyone like peanuts or peanut butter? Those are actually legumes, right? They have a shell, and then their seeds inside are soft until we roast them, which is when most of us would eat a peanut. There's also lentils in the legume family, which are really have a lot of protein, really good for your muscles. And there's also something called okra, which is maybe a fruit that you haven't seen a lot. They're pretty cool. People use them in stew. They kind of have a funny slimy texture inside. It's kind of neat. So maybe at the grocery store you can see if you can find okra for the first time, or any of these other legume family members. So instead of me telling you too much more about peas, we're actually going to go on another field trip today. And we're going to go visit a garden. And I think the person whose garden it is might look familiar. So grab your stuff. We'll see you there.
Hi friends, Miss Becca here. I thought that for this month we could take you on a field trip to my house. And at my house, something I really like to do is grow my own garden. So we're here in my garden. It's fall, so a lot of the beds don't have a lot of stuff in them, but there is still some stuff growing. So we're going to talk a little bit about why I have a garden and what I grow and how it all works.
Hey friends, so I thought I would show you how I start seeds. So when there's something I want to start early, like a tomato or a pepper, I start it inside, and I use this special light that helps give the plants all the energy it would get from the sun. But you remember that in March, it gets dark really early in the day. So it's getting dark around like 4:30 or 5. And plants need a little more daylight than that to be able to grow. So we turn on this light for them. So I take this little container that has a spot for each plant. I fill it with dirt. Maybe this is kind of compacted dirt, but I get enough dirt to fill each of these cells. And then I make a little hole in the center with my finger. I put the seed in and I cover it up, and then I spray some water on and I put it right under here where it's getting lots of light. See how bright it is under there? And then I let it sit there and I keep watering it. And I also keep it on this mat. And when I plug this mat in, it gets warm. It heats up the soil and it makes this so it's a really nice, moist, warm place for the seed to grow. And then once the seed gets taller, it might bump into this light. So I'll raise this light. I put it up higher and higher and higher so that the seeds and the seedlings can get all the light they need as they keep growing. And then eventually in May and April, I take this, which now has a sprout growing out of it, and I move it into the garden.
So another thing I do that makes my garden really happy and makes my plants grow big and tall and gives me lots of food is we have compost piles. So this compost pile over here is the one that's active. That's the one that we throw things in. So in a compost pile, you can put all your scraps when you're chopping things up from cooking, when you peel an onion, when you take the top off a pepper, when you unpeel a banana. All of those scraps that we don't eat that are part of fruits or vegetables can go in the compost pile. And then we add leaves and sticks and wood shavings in there as well. This is a compost pile that's been here for a while. So let's see, we had an apple that I put in. Whoop, that goes over there. We also can put eggshells in because I have chickens and they lay eggs. And we put their eggshells in the compost. That's Violet. Hi, Violet. So this compost pile, when it's been sitting around for a while, it's actually more of a worm pile than a compost pile. And if we dig it up, it's all breaking down. And look how beautiful this is. It's no longer pieces of fruits and vegetables. It turns into awesome dirt full of worms. Can you see all the worms? Look at this guy. Oh my gosh, there's worms all over. And they are helping break down the pieces of fruits and vegetables and turning it into basically yummy food for the plants that grow in my garden. So this month we're going to learn about snap peas and or edible pod peas. So this is a kind of pea called a snow pea. And snow peas are something that you don't have to peel the pod off of. You can eat this whole thing plus these bumps inside, which are the seeds. So the way that a snow pea and lots of other peas grow is that I take one of these little seeds and I plant it in the ground. This isn't one I start inside. I plant it right in the ground, right here where the shoot is coming out. And it sends a little shoot. It starts little like this. And it has these little tendrils that help it climb the fence. Now these peas were planted in the fall, so they didn't get very tall. But when we plant peas in the spring, they can get all the way up to the top of this. They can get taller than I am. So they grow up using their little tendrils to pull them up, and then they form a flower. You can kind of see the remains of the white petal right here. And then once that flower gets pollinated, it starts to grow a little pea, and you can actually see the tiny little pea starting to grow right there. And then it keeps soaking up the water and the sunshine and nutrients from the earth and eventually turns into this big snow pea right here, where inside, let's pick it. Inside, if we open it up, we can see that it's creating brand new seeds that we could plant next year or we could eat. Delicious.
All right, time for our physical activity, our jamming minute for the day. So today we're gonna help out on the farm. So get up out of your seats and get ready to help me take care of this farm that I have here. There is so much to do, and it is a very sunny day, so let's get on our farm clothes, get your hat on, and your boots, and your overalls. Yeah. First, we have to go feed the chickens. So let's grab our food, big heavy buckets of food, and let's walk in place over to those hungry chickens and pour the food in the feeder and pour the water into the water bucket. And now we've got to get those chickens in here so they can eat with us. So help me herd these chickens with your arms down and kind of squat down. Get those chickens in with me. Come on, chickies. Come on, chickies. And now, oh, good. Our chickens are in. And now let's go. We got some fences to fix because those chickens keep getting out. So let's get some fence posts and knock down this tree. Grab your axe and we got to knock down this tree. Here it comes. A couple more. A couple more. There we go, a perfect post to fix our fence. Now we gotta do some work in the garden. We gotta pick up some rocks, bend down and get those rocks, bend down and get those rocks, and we gotta get those weeds. There we go. Oh, get all those weeds up so our beans and our peas can grow nice and strong. There we go, just a couple more. And now we got this big heavy bucket of rocks. Pick up your heavy buckets of rocks and weeds, all right, and dump them over at the edge of the woods. Great. Now the last thing we have to do, we have to get some hay for our chickens and the cows. So let's pick up these big bales of hay, and put them up on the wagon. 5 more bales of hay. There we go. And now we gotta get that hay up into the loft. So climb the ladder and throw the hay up. Climb the ladder and throw the hay up. Climb the ladder and throw the hay up. Almost there. Now we've got to go. Oh my gosh, we got a dog that got out. Let's go get him. And then we gotta fix that fence again. Oh my gosh. Herd the dog in, herd the puppy in. Here we go. Oh, and we gotta get that delicious compost that we saw into our garden. So let's go grab our wheelbarrow around over to our compost pile. And let's grab our shovel and dig the compost out and put it in the wheelbarrow. Fill our wheelbarrow. And then pick up a wheelbarrow. Oh, it's heavy this time. And dump it on the garden. And dump it on this bit of the garden. And now we gotta plant a couple seedlings, tomato seedlings. Pat that in the soil. Pat that in the soil. Pat that in the soil. All right, and then we are almost done. We're leaving, and we're gonna close the gate behind us and find a seat. That was a busy day on the farm. And you know what? You guys missed it, but Corny Karen even tried to help out. It didn't go as she planned.
Corny Karen, can you stop eating tomatoes and help us pull some weeds over here?
Sure.
How about right in here?
Corny Karen knocked her cob, so we gave her some frozen peas.
Gosh, I hope Corny Karen's okay. Hope that ice pack helped. Pretty cool how all that stuff can grow in the garden, right? And actually, even though that field trip was back in October, I am starting to grow peas in my garden right now in May. So they're coming up. They're about 4 inches tall. They're really little, but they're starting to do their thing. So peas are back in season. And now I want to take a second to go visit our scientists to see what is so good about peas, how they help our body. And today we're actually going to learn from our scientists a little bit about how that little white flower that we saw on the pea plant turns into the pea. So let's go check it out.
Oh, welcome to my laboratory. Let me stop catapulting peas and let's talk about them.
These peas are so small, there can't be much of anything in here.
Quite contrary, there's plenty of good stuff in here. Peas are a good source of vitamin A and vitamin C. They help fight off germs and heal cuts and scrapes. They also have fiber that keeps you full longer, makes your belly feel its best, and keeps you energetic all day.
The word of the day is pollinate, to transfer or move pollen from one flower to another so a fruit can grow. Bees and other pollinators can transfer pollen from plant to plant to help the flowers grow. And then the fruits grow from the flowers. Certain plants need to be pollinated or you won't get a juicy fruit.
Back to you, snack ladies.
All right, it is our last taste test of the year. And if you're in a classroom today, you're probably going to get to taste a fresh snap pea. I know we've been trying a lot of canned or dried food this year, but we're trying a fresh one this time. If you're at home, that's okay. See if you have peas in your fridge, or maybe you have them in your cupboard in a can, or maybe you have some frozen ones that you could warm up. Check with an adult, see what you can try. And if you don't have peas, see if there's another legume. Maybe you have peanuts, maybe you have peanut butter, maybe you have okra in your house, or beans in your freezer or your cupboard or your fridge. So see if there's something you can try that it's a legume. And if there isn't anything to try a green vegetable. Try something you've never tried before. Check with an adult. And remember, we're going to use all 5 senses, see how it smells and it looks and it tastes. And if it sounds like anything, maybe when we bite into it, right? And how it feels with our fingers, lots of textures we can feel. And since this is my last time with you this year, hopefully I get to see you in person next year. And in the meantime, over your wonderful summer vacation, I challenge you, again, just like every year, to try at least one new fruit and at least one brand new vegetable this summer, something you've never tried before, because you guys have all been really brave this year, trying new things, and I want you to keep that going. And hopefully, when I'm in your classroom next year, we can talk about some of the cool things that you tried over summer. Have a great summer, enjoy the sunshine, and I'll see you next time.